So this past weekend, you and I and our wives, the group, minus Juan and Jessica, which is fine. We were watching AEW Wrestle Dream. I don't know why I wanted to say Revolution, but anyway, we were watching Wrestle Dream, and Darby Allin was getting drowned by Jon Moxley, and the lights go out.
Indeed, he was.
And out of the years that we've been watching wrestling together, Justin, you did something. I don't know if you realized you did it, but you did something, and it cracked me up. You must have known that I was going to scream or get excited, because you didn't hold my hand, but you put your hand over the top of mine to probably hey, remember, you're in an apartment now and you have kids. Don't scream, because the lights come back on and it's old man Sting, and I about went through the wall. Had that been at the other house, I would have ran around circles in the backyard. But yeah, I was sitting there and it's the lights went off. I swear to God, you took your hand and you were calm. Like the Chris Pratt thing with the Raptors.
Yeah.
You're just stay calm, Jeff. Stay calm.
So he goose-robbed you?
Kind of. I was very proud. I've also busted my ass when Shibata came back.
Yeah.
I legitimately fell on my ass at the old house and did not spill a single drop of my drink.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's talent.
It was.
That was actually a good night, aside from you almost busted.
It was worth it, though. It was for Shibata. Anyway, welcome to the Koffin Click podcast. As always, my name is Jeff, and I'm here with...
Justin, how y'all doing?
And this is Juan, the one you know, the one you love.
Oh, you're getting good at that.
I know, right?
I mean, it is your name, but anyway. So, today's spoopy episode. Fuck, it's spooky season, bitches. I am so stoked.
Season.
We've been talking about horror movies for the past couple months. With the upcoming episodes that we have, I think we've gone over 40 movies, which is nuts in itself to me. But October just seems like the right time to talk about these movies. And that may be, a little ironic because, hey, horror movies, October. But it's okay. So, in the coffin today is Children of the Corn, The Fly, and Scream. 3 very different movies. Mm-hmm. All about white people. Anyway, so we're just going to jump.
Some more likable than others.
That's right.
Shaw.
So we're just going to jump right into it.
Well, is this Jeff Goldblum a white guy?
The coolest white guy. Not because we shared the same first name or anything, but all the Jeffs in Hollywood are really cool.
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Bridges.
Oh my God. Yes, Jeff Bridges. I saw Big Lebowski when I was in high school, as most of us probably did, except Juan. And I was like, oh my God, that's going to be me. I'm going to be the dude. Just because Jeff Bridges plays him. Yeah. And I already love him in Tron.
Yeah.
Can this guy do no wrong? And so far, he hasn't. Anyway.
That's the True Grit's a John Wayne remake, right? And he was faultless in that, too.
R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
Tron 2.
Legacy, yeah.
I don't know if he's in Aries or not.
Yeah,
he probably is. He probably
Aries.
does show up.
I was just gonna say I want to see Aries so bad.
Koffin Click movie night.
2
We'll
weeks.
plan that.
2 weeks in a row, I wanted to go see it, and I did not get a chance because I've been just so damn busy.
So this Children of the Corn came out March 9th, 1984. I have such a disdain for this movie, by the way. Mm-hmm. This movie was directed by Fritz Kirsch, written by Stephen King, and George Goldsmith. And this movie stars Peter Holton as Bert, Linda Hamilton as Vicky. And that took me a while to realize that was her.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why do I... Oh, that's why I know you. And then R.G. Armstrong as Dial. Some Amish name. So there's some fun facts for the movie. I hate this movie. Anyway, on the dashboard of Bert and Vicky's car is a copy of Night Shift, the Stephen King short story collection in which Children of the Corn originally appeared.
Nice.
For the scene where Vicky dreams of Joseph's body rising up to grab her, Linda Hamilton was told a mannequin was under the blanket because it was too hot that day for the child to lie in the road. So she was terrified. So her terrified reaction when Jonas Marlowe leaps up at her is genuine.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the same thing.
The safe goal of Hemingford was the main characters are trying to reach in the same place. The heroes of Stephen King's novel The Stand are also drawn to in their dreams.
Nice. The Stand's really good.
And this, I don't really find interesting facts, or at least I try to give the listener or us the most in-depth background information. I never find facts for myself, except this movie. The pinball machine seen in the diner is Medusa, which was a Bali pinball machine that came out in 1981. And I am sure that Justin knew this, and I'm sure that Juan knew this as well, and I did too. But for those of you who didn't know, Bert and Vicky's car is a 1977 Buick LeSabre Limited.
Yeah.
Juan, what do you think of this movie?
Okay, so this movie was a good movie it is still kind of a good movie, but when it came out, a lot of people, if I remember right, a lot of people were shocked by this movie. It didn't have the impact as that one movie we covered at the beginning where it scared, I think it was our first podcast, I can't remember what the movie is right off the top of my head, where it scared a lot of people and they ran out the movie theaters and stuff like that. I forgot which movie it was we covered. But this one was kind of the same effect, where a lot of people were shocked with the fact that it was kids killing everybody and all that stuff. And but besides that, let's see. Some of the notes I have is Well, the main note I have is that the beginning of the movie was really good. It started off strong, and then it got real slow throughout the movie. Like it was a slow crawl type of movie. There was some good parts here and there. I really liked the redheaded kid in this movie. I forgot what his name is, the real actor. But the older one.
Oh, the one that helps overthrow Malachi?
Yeah, the one that overthrows Malachi. I really liked him in this movie. He acted really good. He was pretty good for a young actor. He's been in a lot of movies, though. I just can't think of what his name is. I should have looked it up. But anyways, he was really good, and Malachi was kind of freaky. He kind of threw me off too a little bit when we first seen him. And I was like, what? I was like, really? He's leading this whole thing? So like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I kind of forgot how it went. So when I watched it this time, it was like, oh, wow, okay.
Man, I think I have a theory.
Oh, you have one now, huh?
Oh, man.
You want to spit it out real quick?
Go ahead. This is a doozy.
Okay, go ahead.
So Malachi inspired whatever the hell My Chemical Romance did with all their aesthetic.
Don't you ever say that out loud again.
No, I know, but his look, Malachi's look.
Oh, for Gerard Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see it. That just upsets me because I really like My Chemical Romance.
I really, really love My Chemical Romance. No, that's why I said it's a doozy, because it hurts my soul inside.
But you might be right, though. I think Malachi and Gerard Way are the same height.
Really?
I have no idea. It was supposed to be a joke.
That is a good joke.
I
don't know why I'm not laughing. But probably because my soul is still hurt from me coming up with that shit.
So another thing about this movie that I kind of liked, but then when I was watching it, I was like, well, it makes sense. And what I'm talking about is when the kid is narrating the movie. And I was like, why is the kid narrating the movie at first? And I was like, oh, it makes sense. All the grown-ups are dead, so why wouldn't a kid be narrating the movie?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They were all killed in the diner or throughout the town, so yeah, it makes sense. Let's see, what else do I got here? I put a note on here. The movie itself wasn't that great because I forgot how slow it was, but it was awesome for its time.
Yeah,
the special effects.
The start strong.
Right, yeah, the special effects
dies, kind of.
Didn't quite hold up, but the way they did the special effects are very interesting. I'm surprised you didn't find this in your notes or when you're watching the movie. Is that the scene when the corn monster, whatever you want to call him, comes and the clouds and all that stuff?
The one who walks, the one behind the rose.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That when he starts coming with the storm clouds or whatever, they said they did that special effect was pretty cool because all they did was just take ink or whatever and squirt it into water and They filmed it, and that's how it made that effect and whatever. And then another effect I thought was kind of cheesy, not compared to nowadays, but it was kind of cool, is when Malachi was getting eaten by the monster. It was just like, looked like static and stuff like that.
Oh, the rotoscoped.
Yeah.
The rotoscope effect to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
both of those were cool for the time, for
Right.
sure. But yeah, now it looks goofy. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last special effect is when he was underneath the ground, and he was rolling from like what do you call it? Like what's the name of that movie? Tremors. Monster.
Tremors is such a good
Yeah,
movie.
Tremors.
But the way they did that, the special effects, is basically what they did is they just buried a wheelbarrow on a rope and just pulled it, and it kind of did that whole ground
Yeah,
covered
where
up
it makes
effect.
the ground move. Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting because I was watching a thing about this movie.
Yeah, and
After
you
I
can
watched the
essentially
movie.
do that effect with anything relatively like curvy or triangular.
Yeah, so I always thought
Burying
that
it
that's one thing I always did like about movies when they do like you call it documentary after the movie or something like that.
Like the
Like
behind the
years
scenes,
later, right? Or years later, they tell you
like
how they made the movie behind
making
the scenes,
of, yeah.
and they tell you how they did the special effects and stuff like that. I always thought that was so fascinating, especially the makeup ones.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that stuff. I'll watch that stuff all day long. But those are some of the notes I got, and then I don't know if you guys want to riff off of something.
Yeah, and that actually, that's interesting you brought that up because that actually makes all the CGI on person effects like depressing now.
Right.
Because like there was all this amazing, beautiful detail put into all these practical makeup and stuff, and now at least half of it's all CGI'd in. But I mean, at the same time, the technology's neat too because we got younger Jeff Bridges and Tron Legacy and stuff like this. The aging CGI thing I think is interesting to me.
Well,
It is with actors who are still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Kind of like what we were just watching before we started with the kids. We were watching Scooby-Doo, and how Jeff mentioned that Scooby-Doo so stands out in that movie because at the time it was kind of new, so the special effects didn't quite match with what the people were doing. But even with that movie, when they were filming it, it was probably just a stick with a tennis ball on it, and everybody had to look at the tennis ball.
I mean,
Yeah, especially because of Humane Society, but yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way you're gonna get a great day and just to do all to do it and then But yeah, it's like very much like it's so crazy that we're Children of the Corn. Here we are talking about the CGI in Scooby Doo because the CGI in fucking Children of the Corn, as much as I hate this movie, did really well for the time. Like
right, exactly. Well, that's what I was saying. Right.
It holds up.
Yeah.
Now, like graphically, like the whole like static, like broken TV static.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's a place for that in media too, because there's a bunch of other stuff. I can't think of any of it right now.
But
where there's like the static-looking effects, and it's like really amazing in whatever that media is.
Children of the Corn was actually, obviously a movie produced, like a studio movie, a studio produced film.
Yeah.
But nowadays, if you were to do an indie film, I could see somebody making, like, if this was nowadays, I could easily sit here with you guys and be like, oh yeah, this indie film, Children of the Corn. You know what I mean? Like, the way that it was made.
Yeah.
So, again, I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much. But, Justin.
Yeah, and I mean, when you brought up the thing Beyond the Rose, too, like, based on, like, all the exposition in the book with King, like, they didn't, like, screw it out, and it's still its own cool look. It's just, there's, like, a conflict there, in my opinion, at least, between, like, what Stephen King describes in the book and, like, what is actually shown on the screen. But that's okay. Like, that's the cool thing about books that become movies and vice versa, is it can be two separate things, and they can both be really neat. But yeah, Thing Beyond the Rose, like, I actually think it looks cool. Like, just looking at it.
As a practical effect, yes.
Yeah.
And, like, when it explodes and it's like... And for the fact that the thing behind the rose, isn't shown to be an actual creature.
Yeah.
It's just a big plume of smoke and, like, with all this, like, the electricity and the purple cloud and whatnot. I thought Nicolas Cage was going to show up. But I was like, wait, wrong movie. That in itself is cool.
Well, that would have made a good Wicker Man, though. The Scarecrow. The Scarecrow.
Oh, God. I now want to superimpose Nicolas Cage in. No, I just need them to remake Children of the Corn with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
It'll just be his version of the Wicker Man all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that I've said throughout the, like us talking, how much I hate this movie. There's a few reasons why I do, and it's nothing against Fred Kirch. It's nothing against. I just hate white children. Like
Then
this.
why did you have
You know you have 3, right?
I know I have 3. Thank you for beating me to the punch. But this movie isn't scary. It's. I don't have like a term for this, but this is what I call a sandwich movie. The beginning's really good, and the ending is really good.
Oh yeah, yep, I agree.
I could care less about the middle.
You said sandwich?
Sandwich.
Well, sandwich works too, because,
Oh, it does. Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Yeah.
chip.
I have been
Middle of
watching
the
a lot of
fight,
golf videos.
down.
But no, I hate this movie. Hate's a strong word. I dislike this movie. Because the book is so much better. And
Yeah,
I don't want to be one of these people that's like, oh, the book's better than the movie. 9 times out of 10, the book will always be better than the movie. That's how I feel about it.
Ender's Game,
But-
for fuck's sake.
True.
Oh, God.
But what...
I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I love Ender's Game, the book, so much. I legitimately thought I was going to have health problems when I watched the movie
No.
adaptation.
You said there's a game of Children of the Corn?
No, Ender's
No,
Game.
no.
Oh,
Ender's
the
I was
series
about to say it.
by
Okay.
Orson Scott Card. The
No.
book is like this immaculate military sci-fi amazing thing, and then I don't even know what the hell they were like. I mean, the main character's still in it, but I don't really know what the hell they were trying to do with the movie in general.
Oh, okay.
So, the reason why I don't like this movie, sorry, I already said that, but I do think movies or books that are turned into movies really do well in getting people to then go read the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a book's a book, and there's no pictures, well, depending on what your reading level is, but but I had such a clear image in my head of what I thought everything was in this book.
Yeah.
And then you watch the movie, and it's like, this is not what I had pictured.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about, like Stephen King in general, his books from like book to film. I think the best interpretation of book to film, barring a orgy sex scene with a turtle, is it.
Yeah.
Because for how Pennywise is described and the way that he's talked about in that book,
Yeah, all the exposition. Yeah.
and this just gives me a reason to talk about Tim Curry, is Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård emulated Pennywise for me.
Yeah.
Going from the book, and it is a fucking jaunt of a book.
Yeah.
It's like North by Northwest.
Except for books.
Right. 2.5 hours? At least I can stare at Cary Grant. It's fine. But if you don't know what we're talking about, check out our first episode. Shameless plug. But anyway, I hate this movie.
Not shameless.
I hate this movie because for as much as I've hated it, I dislike it. It has inspired me the most out of any Stephen King film I've ever watched. Because this movie made me hate organized religion.
Yeah.
But,
I can see that.
But really, really got me into cults. Not that I'm in one, but I was like, oh my God, these kids, like there's no parents. This is like Lord of the Flies, but for the Amish. What is going on? And it's like, what is this? Like, where are they all getting this from? Oh, it's the Bible. That's one hell of an interpretation. That is crazy to me.
Right.
So, and it's not like this movie is violent. And I almost forget that it's like a Stephen King book until the end where there's a mythical monster that's about to kill everybody. Like, but it's been years since I've seen this because I don't like watching it. The way this movie ends frustrates me so much. Because that little girl goes to like kill Linda Hamilton or whatever, or no, Bert, and they like knock her out. And what does Linda Hamilton say? Oh, throw her in the house. She's not coming with us to get pizza. Movie ends. You just adopted 2 kids.
Right.
You couldn't have taken the third?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, she was the crazier of the three, though.
All
She
those,
kept coming back and trying to kill him again.
all those kids were
It's
crazy.
like, damn,
Yeah.
kid, can't give up.
But, so,
How many times you gotta get your ass knocked out to give up?
you just got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
But, so, like, as much as as I just said, this movie made me dislike organized religion, the faith in this movie is probably the biggest, and I don't know if that was Stephen King's aim with this book, but to have that much faith in a tiny Amish boy girl, like, and Malachi as a character is, I almost called him Alistair. Malachi is really cool as a character.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's just the voice, and I know that the voice is supposed to harken back to like old school, like Southern Baptist
Or hell, even like Puritans.
Right,
Puritans,
yeah, Puritan, yeah.
the evangelical style. Hey, I used that word without stuttering. Good job, Jeff. That style, and I'm not bashing on your religion. Don't come at me. Just don't do it. But like, sidebar. I've sold my soul twice for Kiss tickets, so I'm good. Anyway,
Yeah.
I I know where I'm going. Anyway, but just to have that much faith, like when Bert shows up, and it's very, again, Nicolas Cage-esque. He's like, "Where are your guys' parents?" "Oh, in the cornfield." "What?" "Yeah, we follow Malachi. He tells us everything. We're gonna sacrifice." Yada. You know this is crazy, right? This book is crap. Goes to throne, they stab his ass. Like, you have that much faith in what you're being told, whether you're oppressed or not, and you just roll with it.
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm gonna comment on that because I thought that was funny, and I'm surprised I didn't make a note of that. And I thought that was the most funny thing about this movie is that, okay, it's a town of little kids. All right, they kill all the grown-ups, but then this one guy runs through the town like crazy, knocking these kids over and everything. I'm like, okay, how come the other grown-ups couldn't do that? I mean, you can't.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not for child abuse at all.
Well,
But if a kid came at me with a knife, I'm sorry.
okay, but
I'm closing my fist.
but you have to think about it though.
Right.
The opening of this movie is a well thought out, planned adult assassination. Which my only issue with that is you're just, I get it's like Amish town or whatever.
Right.
You're just walking around with a sickle and nobody says anything.
Right.
But any hoozles, like, look how coordinated that was. Look what Malachi did in the beginning of that movie. So, if a bunch of adults just died, they poison the coffee.
Right.
They do all this other stuff.
That would
So-
make my Jessica so mad.
Well, she'd be dead
Right.
if
exactly.
she was in Children of the Corn.
Right. Exactly.
But why does the Starbucks taste like Dunkin'?
Right. Exactly.
Get that Folgers out of here. Anyway.
Right.
But as well as coordinated as that was, if I was an adult in this town, I'd be like, no, this kid's got a point. I'm good. Like, what am I going to do? And to also be that helpless to be an adult, to know you're going to get jumped by like 6 midgets, kids, whatever.
Right.
Like,
Crotch gobos, something.
and you live in a town that is predominantly sunny. How are you that pasty? Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. This movie.
But yeah, I mean, you were on to the biggest thing you were on to is just the differences across like book to movie. Because like I don't know if it was just me and like what I assumed, like, you know, via Ender's Game, like I was just talking about, kind of like I was thinking about it. You were reading the book. You assume Malachi's like, you know, preteen, maybe a little less, and he's just like, you know, literally domineering all these other kids or something.
It's like 10.
Especially the older ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, faith, strength, all of that, like, is really well played into this. And again, you know, I brought up It. Another Stephen King book, film to adaptation, or from book to film, that I think that was really good is Cujo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah, Cujo's probably one of my favorites as far as
Right.
book to movie.
And Christine.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't mess up how a car looks, but
Well, I kind of like The Stand too, but that's not really
Stand's
technically
good,
a
yeah.
horror, but
still, like, from book to movie. And I'm not bashing on what Fred Kirsch did. This completely took me out of the book. Like I can't go back to read Children of the Corn without thinking of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, as an example, outside of horror, when my kids are old enough and I start reading them Harry Potter, I'm just gonna see Harry Potter as Daniel Radcliffe. That's it. Like, there's no.
What about when the new Harry Potter TV show comes out?
Listen,
Are you for or against that?
I'm for it.
Okay.
As far as like adaptations of things that I enjoy, run it. I don't care what race the characters, what their heritage is, what their race is. I don't care. If the actor is good enough to fill that role and embodies that character, I am for it. I do not care about the color of their skin.
Yeah, embodies the
Right.
character.
I do not care about the color of their skin.
Okay.
Yeah. Race,
and-
creed, all that BS doesn't matter if they can actually embody the character.
And as I've said in the beginning of this review, just tired of seeing tiny white children. Anyway, aside from mine, but
So the kill count. Sorry. You're okay.
Sleep good, Georgia.
So before you get to the kill count, you brought up, I just said, Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe. When the new series comes out, is that going to see him? Daniel Radcliffe is in an amazing show called Miracle Workers, and I think like the third season takes like old timey western. Mm-hmm. I've seen Daniel Radcliffe in drag, and I still see Harry Potter when I see him.
Oh, really?
Like.
Yeah.
He has an amazing ie called Guns Akimbo where he's some internet troll and he wakes up with pistols bolted to his hands.
Oh yeah.
To me, it was just Harry Potter running around, trying not to die. Like, I love you, Daniel. And stop doing that thing to Elijah Wood. People will walk up to Elijah Wood and be like, "Oh, are you Daniel Radcliffe?" And he'll be like, "No, I'm Elijah Wood." "Oh, cool. Can I have your autograph?" And he'll sign Elijah, like he'll do his signature. Daniel Radcliffe, on the other hand, people will walk up to him, ask him if he's Elijah Wood. He'll say yes, and then sign Elijah Wood's name.
Oh, really?
It's my favorite fact about him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's like Wee Man and what's that comedian's name?
Vern Troyer.
Huh?
Wait, Wee Man and.
There's a comedian. I can't think of his name right now.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
They always confuse him with Wee Man, and sometimes he'll go along with it, and then other times he's like, "I'm not Wee Man."
God,
That's
yeah.
the other midget.
Yeah, because he's also a little individual.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
But he's a comedian. Yeah, I can't think of his damn name.
I can't
though.
think of it either.
Oh,
now,
That
too.
guy's hilarious.
I'll look him
he
up.
is really funny. Yeah.
Not Carlin, but he's damn funny.
Right.
If you want to.
Oh yeah.
Kill
Okay.
count.
So the kill count. So it's 24
Brad.
kills. What?
Sorry, Brad Williams.
There you go.
Brad Williams,
Yeah.
yes.
He's really funny. But anyways, the kill count: 24 kills. There's 13 men killed, 9 women, and 2 kids are killed in this movie. Malachi being one of them. Well, technically, it would probably be 25 because Malachi gets killed twice, doesn't he? Or he gets killed and then he comes back as the walking whatever behind the corner whatever guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. He gets Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, I.
'Cause I don't
But
think I
I mean,
counted that.
technically he dies.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the 2 kids that
I mean,
died.
you could say and one inhuman spirit.
Well, no,
if you
it's
want.
24. It's 24
And one Amish
because
devil.
I did count him dying, but then I don't think I can't remember if he dies in this thing.
And one inhuman spirit expunged
Right.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And one
I mean-
Amish specter.
right.
Sorry about the
So-
whole Amish thing. I don't think this movie had to do anything with Amish people. It's just what
It's just the crappy
So you
aesthetic.
fans-
Yeah.
the aesthetic to
You
it.
fans, you
went
can
with that
decide for
movie,
yourself. It's either 24 or 25. And I'll let you be the judge.
All right, let's
Let
get
us
into-
know in the comments if
Yeah,
you
exactly.
think inhuman spirits being vanquished counts as a kill.
Right. Hey, good one.
All right. Koffin rating. I'm giving this 2 coffins. I can't give it any more. I want to give it less, but again, this movie inspired me to learn about cults. Because I saw this when I was young. I don't know why, but I saw it when I was young.
Yeah, I saw Cujo when I was kind of young too, so I feel you on that one. You want to go next?
Yeah. I'm going to go 1.5. Literally just because I can be a bastard that isn't packed sometimes. And just the age gap in the book, like, even though it's my own stupid headcanon, I'm fully aware of that, folks. But it threw me out of the whole damn movie. The kid's cool is, like, his thing in that movie. I don't know. And just the strong start with the slog afterwards, I couldn't get with it. Because there's not a damn bit of the book that slogs. I mean, right?
Yeah, Justin hit it, on the head with that one. I understand this is a movie. This is just my feeling about it. I'm not saying that the book is way better than the movie, because I'm sure people believe that the movie is better than the book, and I understand it. Seeing something visually versus reading, I completely get it. I understand it. But not in this case.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I gave it 2 coffins also.
All right. We're going to go from Children of the Corn to a way better movie.
Yes.
Sorry. And what's crazy about this is that this movie was made 2 years after this. And no, it's not one of the 16 sequels. It is The Fly, which came out August 5th, 1986. First time on the podcast, and we're going to end up doing an episode with him. No, I'm not talking about Jeff Goldblum. We will have a David Cronenberg episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because just Cronenbergian, whatever you want to call him, his set of movies, this man is one of the best to do it at body horror, and this movie is a shining example of it. But
I'd say one of the best 80s in general, when you really look at it.
Well,
even though he was beyond 80s, I know, but
no, this was 86. Remember, we did a whole episode about Alien.
No, I know.
So, this is up there. This is definitely up there for me. But this is
That's
written
why
by...
I said one of the best. I didn't say
gotcha.
What's the best ever.
Written by George Langlian, Charles Edward Pogue, and David Cronenberg. This stars, and again, I'm being biased because we share the same first name, but one of my favorite actors, Jeff Goldblum as Seth Brundle, Gina Davis as Veronica Quaife, and John Getz as Stathis Borins. God, I hate this guy. Anyway, real quick before I get into the rest of this.
Yeah, he was a real douche.
When I had watched this movie, I was like, oh, I watched The Fly. Yay. I get home. Again, it's spooky. Actually, it doesn't even need to be spooky season. My kids love watching movies that I watch, but I have to be careful about what I show them. They wanted to watch something spooky. They wanted to watch Beetlejuice. So we throw Beetlejuice on, and I out loud went, oh, this is the second time I'm seeing Gina Davis today, and my wife gave me a look. So my 2 facts for this movie is that originally this was a project for Tim Burton to direct. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love Tim and his works, I don't think this would have been a good movie. I don't. If Tim would have directed this, I don't think Jeff Goldblum would have been in it.
No, especially if
it would have been a young Johnny Depp,
Especially if you randomly look at '89 Batman a little bit later, like that.
Oh shit! You're right. I didn't even think about that.
That would have been. I don't even know, because that would have been three. It came out 3 years before '89 Batman, right?
'87 was Burton's Batman.
No, it was '89.
Was it?
The first Batman, that was like the remake, yeah, with Keaton Batman. 89.
Yeah.
I know, just because I was born in '89. I don't know why that's a correlation I have, but I'm weird like that.
Touche. You were right. Anyway.
But yeah, so 3 years later, I don't know. That makes me have worried thoughts. Actually, just forget about that.
So screenwriter Charles Edward Pogue wrote the first draft of the script. When Cronenberg was hired as a director, one condition was that he'd be able to rewrite the script to his satisfaction. Cronenberg substantially altered the characters and their names, the dialogue, and much of the plot. However, key details from Pogue's script, the fusion of man and the man and the fly, and the details of the metamorphosis were retained. So I can only imagine Cronenberg went in and said, "This is an amazing movie. Get rid of everything but that," and then just went nuts.
Okay,
Wow.
so yep. So let's see. I have a couple of notes for this movie. Let's see. So I started off with this movie is a slow burn, but it's not boring.
But it's still burning.
Right. Yeah. But
Okay.
I put it on here, but it's not boring. All right. It didn't. It wasn't boring. It was slow, but it wasn't boring.
Life finds a way.
Oh, so yeah. So Jeff transported himself. Why he? Let's see, he or she. Oh, yeah, okay. So I put Jeff transported himself, but then I didn't finish the thought. And then I put
That's Goldblum's life in a nutshell.
yeah, pretty basically. But then I went on a different tangent in my notes here, and I put the one thing about this movie that I didn't quite understand: why a baboon? I was like, wouldn't it be better if a chimpanzee was in this movie? Because if I'm not mistaken, baboons are like really aggressive. So like, I
Tear
mean,
your
like crazy
fucking face
aggressive. I
off.
mean, if you've seen the cartoon version of Tarzan or that one movie with The Rock in it, where the monkey
Rampage?
jumped on it. Yeah,
That was
not
based on a
Rampage.
really cool video game, by the way.
Yeah, no,
They
not
ruined it.
Rampage. The one where he's in the jungle and
Jumanji?
the baboons come at him, and then one of them jumps on his head and starts humping
Oh, are
his
you
head.
talking about the Disney ride movie?
And it
Jungle
also has
Cruise.
what's his name from
Jungle Cruise, yeah.
it has what's his name in it with caw tookie tookie whatever that kind
George
of
of the
actor.
Jungle.
Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, he was in it with him with the Rock, and he brings him back because
The only
dad-
movie that I can think of
cannot
that
remember the name of
has
the
The
movie.
Rock and Brendan Fraser in it is The Scorpion King or The Mummy 2, and I know that's not what we were talking about. I'll
No.
have to look it up, but continue.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up too. But anyway, so the baboons, every movie I've seen baboons, they're like killer apes and whatever, and I'm like, even worse than gorillas, and I'm like, why a baboon? I was like, that makes no sense. And then this baboon was really tame. I'm like, really? You're in the city,
I mean,
you
it was
have
Jeff
a freaking
Goldblum.
baboon?
It probably winked at him or something. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's what's up. Let's go."
Right.
That baboon got there, watched how Jeff Goldblum acted, and he said, "No, I'm not the aggressive one here. I understand this."
But there was
Have
two,
you seen this movie
actually
called The
two
Lion
baboons.
King? It's
It
not
was
out
two-
yet.
It was two baboons in
Two
this movie.
baboons.
The one that died and the one that lived. There's two baboons in this movie. So he had basically two baboons.
You either die by the baboon or live by the baboon.
I guess, I mean, at least it wasn't bamboo.
I mean, it could have been worse. This could have been a really bad Planet of the Apes ripoff, and the baboon and the man merged.
Right. You damn dirty apes!
Guns don't kill people. Apes with guns kill people.
That's right. All right, so anyway, so that was my baboon tangent that I had a problem with this movie. Other than that, I did not have a problem with this movie.
You gotta watch
Other
Planet of the
than
Apes
the
Dr.
now.
baboon.
Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Yep, and then, but Jeff Goldblum, I think, did a great job in this movie,
Yeah.
playing a fly man creature, and how calm he was when he was doing the videos and stuff like that, and he was like, hey, let's see how the fly eats, or like whatever he was calling himself. I forgot what he called himself. in
Oh
the
my
movie.
god, when he was doing like the Bill Nye special.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, now watch this. Maybe we'll have to market it as the Brundle. How does the Brundle eat? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
And then later on in the fight scene where he spits on the guy's hand
We're
and
gonna-
starts to melt, I was like, that's awesome.
We're gonna talk about that
Yeah,
later.
that was some good special effects. So the special effects in this movie, to me, hold up 100%.
Because it's a Cronenberg film. Because it's not 95% of this movie is practical effects.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Because
with
you
the
couldn't
practical
CGI
effects,
somebody
right.
getting their hand bitten off in
Right.
such a manner, and that's why I love Cronenberg.
yeah.
Also, watching this movie with headphones is a terrible idea if you don't like the sound of anything breaking.
Right. So, and then another note I have on here is this movie is basically science gone wrong.
This movie should have been called Weird Science.
Yeah, exactly,
That's what I was
right?
just
Yeah.
gonna talk about. That there's like a certain sect of like these '80s movies that like the real ass like awesome nerd people all love. Weird Science, this, and like two others that escape me. But they were all in the '80s, and it was all like
Tron.
Tron, yeah, obviously.
Hands down, one of my favorite movies.
Now, another thing is this movie, I know it was filmed in the warehouse district, whatever city it was filmed in. But the one thing I thought was funny is that as brilliant scientist that he was supposed to be, you did not think that because you have wild animals, you wouldn't have flies around them. And most animals usually have flies around them, especially when they just shit everywhere, wherever they want to. And
My
whatever.
man saw Gina Davis and said, I'm going to hit that. I don't care what. And plus, remember, he only becomes the fly because he thought, because he acted too rash, because it's Jeff Goldblum.
And alcohol is always bad to mix when you're...
He was down on that
emotional.
shit too, man. I was like,
yeah.
God, just, come on, Brundle. Give me some. Anyway, but he did it because he thought that she went back to her ex.
Right. No, I understand why
And
he did it,
and she left on apparently really good Chinese food.
but... Right. Oh, yeah, right. But yeah,
I don't know
so,
if I could do that.
I
like
mean,
Chinese
then
food.
again, a fly is not really that big.
I'm gonna take care of this. I was gonna order Chinese.
Right.
This can wait.
Right. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. A fly is really not that big, and if you're drunk, you probably wouldn't notice a fly flying in when you're getting into a machine.
And not to take away from what you're saying, interrupt you, Juan, but you were absolutely right. It's because the fly was small.
Right.
Because if the baboon would have crawled in with him, this would have been a completely different movie.
Oh yeah.
This would have been the precursor to Planet of the Apes.
it would have
Sorry,
been
that's
Ninja
all I can
Turtles.
think about right now.
Yeah.
Razor and what's his name? Ninja Turtles.
Oh my God.
But no, and Tron and Weird Science aside,
Weird
like those are great
Science.
movies in their own right, for
Oh, yeah.
damn sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But to me, this is one of the best portrayals of just like a straight scientist in anything.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But there's I'll wait, but there's a very specific part of this movie that I think is like the realest thing. That if this were to actually happen, like,
Yeah.
so we'll get there.
So the last note I have is the dream sequence. I loved the dream sequence. I thought that was so awesome. And then when she was giving birth, and then you see the fly, was it larva? When they pull out, and then before she wakes up, I'm like, oh my God!
I
And it's all
completely
wiggling.
so like I completely forgot, and I've seen this movie before, but I
Right.
completely forgot that was a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, wait, does she actually have? There's no way this is what she's. Oh, and then she wakes up. I'm like, yeah, I would have woke up in a cold sweat too, darling. Like the whole
Right.
bed would have been soaked.
Yeah. So if you guys, if you want, we can banter about the rest of it. But those are the notes, the things I wrote down the most that like caught my attention.
So before you go, Justin, my favorite part of this movie, and I only say this because it's also the most Jeff Goldblum thing I've seen, and this kind of harkens
I
back.
forget what you're talking about.
This kind of harkens back to the Nicolas Cage episode when I was talking about, like, you know, slam dunk when you're throwing out tomatoes.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this entire movie, aside from like the practical effects and just the overall arching story, like this is a complete package of a movie, is when like she can't have sex anymore with him because, you know, she's tired.
Oh,
And he's,
Like
and,
actually tired
and,
from
like,
the fact that he's a
and, like,
freako or whatever.
he gets up and he was like, no, fine, you're a square, and like walks out. Like,
of
his-
all the things you could have
his-
thought to say
his
in that
whole-
moment, yeah.
his whole demeanor just is like, oh, like, and I can understand where like the ego comes from. Like, you did something no other human has.
Mhm.
I mean, this is before obviously he knew about the fly bit, but like, you kind of turn yourself into this god, and like you want to test
Yeah.
what you can do and what you can't do, all this other stuff. But just the way he gets up, he's like, no, I knew you were square from day one. You can't handle me. And just like slams the door and just like shirtless jacket on leaves. I would have gotten like, seeing Jeff Goldblum, especially in the 80s at that point, like if I was a woman, I would have been like, yes. God, you talk a lot, but
This is
yes.
a decent movie, yeah.
Right, yeah, like,
You talk a lot.
Yeah.
but my thoughts on this movie outside of the random square scene is that it's perfect. This movie has everything.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to me about this movie, and this is going to go back to Goldblum, is that I forgot, even in complete transformed fly mode, just through his eyes moving, that was still Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the craziest
Like
part about
his
the whole movie.
his
really.
weird like little like the squint thing that he does, like that right there. This movie's so sick in so many different ways.
Right. And like I said, he acted really good. I mean, it was a good performance.
Like, I could honestly believe that he was a scientist just trying, like, that he had cracked a bit of the human condition, you know, like something that no human had ever done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's, to sound to, like, a current kid, I guess, like, Jeff Goldblum in this movie is such a vibe by himself that you watch other science movies and it's like, I want my crazy scientist to be Jeff Goldblum flavored. Like, let's go. Like, I don't think anybody has. There have been mad scientists and psychopathic scientists, you know, all that. But like, Goldblum or Stu, what's his name? Stu?
No.
Steve Brundle.
Seth Brundle.
Seth Brundle. Seth Brundle was just such a. Just
Fully developed character.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
there's no other way to say it, and fucking so. The part I hate about this movie is so you bring up the fact multiple times that flies vomit on their foods, decompose it, to then eat it.
Yeah.
That is a big point towards the end of this movie. So you're going to tell me that Stathis gets his leg gnawed off, and he gets a good hand, and he is still able to be alive enough to shoot a fucking shotgun?
Yeah.
Not only that, a break action
And
12
I
and his
figured
leg.
that was coming, thank you.
Right. And
But I was just
where
like,
you literally need like both hands to go dook dook.
but like I mean, technically the stub would have fit in the hole, I guess, better than his hand because he didn't have one.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, then it depends on
I
shotgun
just-
Hey,
model
if Ash
anyway.
could do it,
yeah, but that's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
He wasn't a complete dick.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Wait,
Well,
never mind. But like, Stathis is such a dick in this movie.
oh yeah,
To give him the
the hero role.
yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
the hero role. I was like, fucking Cronenberg, what are you doing? This man has no redeeming qualities.
Mm-hmm.
He yelled at Gina Davis at a clothing store, which I also forgot used to be a thing.
Oh, clothing stores.
Like, in the way that they used to look in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if that was a Kohl's or whatever, but like,
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
you can't walk into a clothing store and
It
see
kind
that
of looked
amount
like
of
a
suits.
Macy's to me, kind of.
Kind of. But like, that like service merchandise style of the 80s, that in itself is, this whole movie's an aesthetic by itself, but like they were, the whole arguments ensuing, and I'm like, that's a lot of leather on that back wall. How are they? Oh wait, never mind. Pay attention to the movie. Like, Jeff, pay attention to actually what's going on. But yeah, I absolutely adore this movie.
Yeah. I actually have a improvised fun fact that I can no longer unsee or unhear.
What's that?
George R.R. Martin got his naming convention for all of Game of Thrones from this movie.
Oh really?
Stathis is the bad guy, good guy that we just talked about. Stathis Baratheon. Seth Brundle, I swear to God, there's a Seth somewhere.
There's probably a Brundle.
In a Game of
And there's a
Thrones?
Brundle in Game of Thrones, I'm pretty sure.
I think there's a Seth, but I don't know about Brundle. I thought there was a Seth in Game
So
of Thrones.
anytime for me, anybody that says Seth, I think of three people:
What's that?
Seth MacFarlane, Seth Meyers, and Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, four: Seth Rollins, because burn it down.
So the only
Keep dressing like my grandma's couch.
The only thing that I thought was missing from this movie is from the original movie, and I so wanted to hear, "Help me!"
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the original Fly. Yeah.
Exactly, from the
And
original. That's
let's-
the only thing missing from this movie because I loved that scene from the original.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
This is a remake,
Yeah.
and it crushes this hard.
Right.
Mhm.
Did nobody look? To be honest, they probably couldn't stomach what Cronenberg was doing because he's really good at body horror. But like, this is how you do a remake.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Especially since the podcast previously, I said I hate remakes. Well, I like remixes, but remakes, most of them I kind of hate. The fact that they're remaking another movie. But this one holds up. I mean, this one was good.
Yeah,
This one
I don't think
is
I
definitely-
don't know if it's been remade since then, but I don't think it can be touched.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
Kill count.
Yeah,
When we move on.
I was gonna direct you to that. But
Yeah, so the kill count is actually only 2 kills in this movie. It was 1 monkey and 1 fly monster man.
Oh, so one flyman.
Flyman.
So the reason, I have a theory about the baboon thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Seth Brundle isn't a like disgraced scientist with a high school friend. Back to the Future. He's not a disgraced nuclear physicist. He's just a guy who, he even says that the company he's working for does not give a shit about him.
Right.
So I feel that if he would have gotten a chimpanzee, because they're a really good test subject, that the company that he's working for would have been like, ooh, what did Seth figure out? You grab a baboon, it's like, oh, Seth's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like
he just wanted to die today.
We'll go clean up the pieces.
That kind of makes sense. I can see that but see, that's another thing too. I mean, at least it is an ape, because apes are the closest thing to us, even though a lot of people would disagree with that theory. But
go back to my feelings about Children of the Corn.
Right. So I mean, but I don't know. Technically, we have more. Genetically, I think we have more in common with pigs than we do chimps. But
I think that's why you got a baboon, because if you I mean, just in what animals have been animals you think of when testing for science projects, chimpanzee, white mice. Seth didn't go for either of those. He grabbed the baboon.
Right.
Who was chill as shit, just sitting on the chair eating chips.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got any of that Chinese food he ordered.
Right. Well, just let me say for the podcast, for those of you that are listening, and what I just said probably just confused you, but I just want to clarify. The reason why I said we were more genetically closer to pigs is because if you don't remember, not too long ago when they were trying to do cloning and stuff like that, they were cloning body parts by using pigs, not chimps or any other animal, is because their skin and other genetic markers are more closer to what we are than, say, a chimp or whatever. So for those of you that are listening, don't think I just said something crazy. There's science behind it.
And now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Check the Hannibal episode.
Bacon!
All right, so Koffin ratings.
Okay, I'll go first this time. I gave it 4.5 coffins because, like I said, for this being a remake, it was an excellent movie, great acting, everything all around. Couldn't have done it better.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. 4.5 coffins. It's probably one of the better remakes I've ever seen.
I'm gonna give this 4 coffins. Not just because of the remake, but not just because of Jeff Goldblum and Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis are really. I don't think this movie. I don't think you could have done this with anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the '80s. I'm surprised this wasn't like.
I mean, Gina Davis has always been a really damn great actress.
And
too.
she's enough of Gina Davis, don't come at me, but she is enough of a girl to look at her and be like, oh, she's not going to do anything. But she's so driven in all of her films, the things that she does. Look at her in this movie, The Fly. Hi, baby. Look at her in The Fly, and look how dedicated she is to the cause in a movie, like I said earlier, Beetlejuice. But she doesn't look that menacing. Could you have pictured Gina Davis in Alien?
I mean, in a certain
in
multiverse.
Aliens, yes, just to hear Gina Davis say, "Stay away from her, you bitch."
Yeah,
that would have been fun. But anyway, 4 coffins. This movie I really rounded off.
So one thing before we move on, I just want to note where I watched this movie. It surprised me a lot. Is I actually watched this movie on Disney Plus. I'm surprised they had this movie on Disney Plus
because of the Hulu extension.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I mean, there's a good Jeff Goldblum section on Disney Plus. We're not sponsored. This is not.
Yeah.
But Disney Plus has The World explained by Jeff Goldblum, and to be completely honest with you, I have no idea what any of the episodes are about. I just like hearing Jeff Goldblum talk.
Mm-hmm.
like, if I were to ever have a movie being made about my life, which will never happen, I would want Nicolas Cage to play me. And Jeff Goldblum narrate it.
Yeah.
Now, one more quick mention. Jeff Goldblum is another actor where it's almost like the one that you mentioned where he almost plays himself in every movie.
Jeff Goldblum doesn't have a choice but to play himself in every movie because he is thoroughly himself. If there's anybody in history that has been 100% themselves at every time, for me, it's a tie between Nicolas Cage, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum.
Right. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
All right. Moving on to the last film and one of my favorites. And I think we're going to have a discussion about this movie. So, the last movie is Scream, which came out December 20th, 1996. This was directed by Wes Craven, who has probably one of the best cameos in this film. And it's cool that it's him and the Fonz. What you're doing, it's fucking Wes Craven as janitor in Freddy outfit. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
this
that is probably one of the better things in the
movie was written by Kevin Williamson, and it stars Nev Campbell as Sidney, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, David Arquette as Deputy Dewey, Matthew Lillard as Stuart, Jamie Kennedy as Randy,
Stuart,
and look what I can do, and Skeet Ulrich as Billy. I have so many notes about this movie, but I'll give my facts up first. When Henry Winkler opens the closet, his Fonzie jacket is amongst the suits, and I absolutely love that. For those of you who don't know, Henry Winkler played the Fonz in Happy Days, which was a show back in 1974. The special effects artist used about 50 gallons of fake blood. At the beginning of the movie, when Casey's, Drew Barrymore's parents, come home and find something is wrong, her father tells her mother to go to the Mackenzies, which is the same thing Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis, told Lindsay, Carl Richards, and Tommy, Brian Andrews to do in Halloween in 1978, of which this movie contained many references. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this movie real quick. This has to be one of my favorite horror movies ever made, solely for the fact that it was one of the first horror movies that I had seen because it's something I found. I had everything else shown to me. When we did the Big Three episode, I talked about, I can almost pinpoint where I saw Freddy, Michael, and Jason. People had shown me those things because they were introduced to it. I feel like, being a millennial, that Scream was made for my generation. Going to see... seeing one of the Charlie's Angels, Drew Barrymore, get axed, not even 10 minutes into not even that 5 minutes into this film, harkens back to watching Psycho, seeing that, because she was heavily premiered in the trailers for this film. Oh shit, Drew Barrymore's in this. She's going to be the main character. First 5 minutes, bitch is gone. Right. Everything. And again, generationally, if it wasn't for this movie, I wouldn't have the appreciation that I do, and it's funny that we were watching Scooby-Doo earlier with the kids, for Matthew Lillard, an actor who I have followed his career since Scream. Same thing with Jamie Kennedy. Malibu's Most Wanted is one of my favorite movies. But anyway,
I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
But
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
I feel like
love that movie.
I feel, and I'm gonna get a little sappy here, but I feel like Scream is such a generational movie that it introduced, because around this time we talked about it, a couple, it feels like forever ago, when we did the slasher episode and we were talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer and, American Psycho and all that jazz. I feel like Scream just pushed that narrative in the 90s even harder. There is everything. one of my favorite shows is Scrubs. Courtney Cox shows up in that. I don't know her from Friends. I know her from Scream, which is why she took this role. She wanted to separate herself from Friends, like as an actress.
Yeah.
So, and I have gone as Ghostface so many times for Halloween. Like, it is nuts. And the movies keep getting better, and that is solely because of Wes Craven. And I'm just going to keep repeating myself if I go on, but this is by far one of my, like, top 5 horror movies. It is so fucking good. All right, when you guys can go now.
So actually I didn't write down any notes, but I actually have some fun facts for you, which I'm surprised you didn't mention them. So the actor that played Dewey, sorry.
Dewey?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
That's Dewey.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Fucking. So around this time, David Arquette was WCW champion. Like, are you kidding me?
That's right.
God.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, the actor that played Dewey started his relationship or his real life relationship / marriage with the lady that plays the reporter.
Courtney Cox. Yeah.
Courtney Cox. So they actually started their relationship or met each other in this movie, and
which is cute because their characters definitely interact a lot during this movie. Like when they're on
Right.
the steps, and she's like, "So can you get me in?" He's like, "Well, the town here respects me," and I'm like, "Nobody respects you, Dewey. I promise you."
Right. So so that's a fun fact about this movie, and then and then what you said. This movie is an iconic movie because no one else has did a movie like this before. Before this movie happened, there was no other movie like this where they talked about other scary movies and the rules of scary movies.
Yeah, it's the only. Yeah, it was the first one.
This was the first one that did that, and
where they talk about horror tropes. They talk about like all the big threes, like things that they're supposed to do every time.
Right.
That whole entire thing.
Never say "I'll be back."
It is, and then what does Matthew Lillard do?
Yeah,
I'll be back. And by the way, because this is probably gonna be the first and only time I can talk about it, he plays William Afton in Five Nights at Freddy's. Matthew Lillard, right before he dies and becomes Springtrap, says, "I'll be back." Headcanon or theory or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I think Stu is not dead. He moved and became William Afton for Five Nights at Freddy's. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so then another thing is, this movie spawned so many other things, and like other movies that we have covered already, it became canon for other movies and mentioned in other movies. They did comedies based off of this movie.
The original name for the movie was supposed to be called Scary Movie.
Yeah.
They obviously went with Scream.
Mm-hmm.
Scary Movie is one of my favorite parodies because of all the Ghostface shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and if you want to, I'm so sorry. If you want to look at, I'm very excited about this movie, as you can tell. Scary Movie as a parody pushed the boundary for other parodies.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because for a while there wasn't any good parody movies coming out. And I think it's in the second one, it's one of my favorite lines. "Oh, you're psychic? Yeah, I have ESPN as well." Like, you fucking kidding? Like, and they're coming out with a new Scary Movie.
Right.
There's a new one coming out, and it's about them dealing with the multiverse of horror movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is the most
like
parodied
the
thing.
Conjuring verse and all this stuff. Yeah.
I think more on a Marvel
It's
schedule,
more,
like
it's more
size
on the
of things,
level
but
of
like
what Kevin Smith did when he was making fun of his movies. This movie is going to be based off of that, or like the movie.
This similar concept.
Similar concept. Yeah.
But yeah,
so, I heard about that too. But yeah, so so that was some fun facts about this movie that I'm surprised you didn't mention yet. But yeah, as far as that goes, I like this movie. I mean, I say that a lot, but especially for someone that says they don't love horror movies. Apparently, I've seen a lot of
terrible
them.
Influences.
But then again, my wife laughs about that because she says I'm a living contradiction. So there goes that.
If with it being spooky season and whatnot, like if you know somebody who hasn't seen this movie and you feel like they can handle it, because this movie is pretty fucking bloody.
Right.
if you feel like they can handle it,
That's all right.
and you want to introduce, like, let's say you have a teenager in your life that you're related to, just don't grab a bunch of teens and be like, hey, you want to watch Scream? Get in this van. Show them Scream. I think Scream is a beautiful introduction to horror.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean,
especially if they have never seen any of the classics, and the fact that they talk about what you shouldn't do in horror movies.
And the movie being meta itself, I think by the third one, they start making a movie within Scream called Stab, which is about what happens in the first movie. And I think by like up to now, they're like, it's like Stab 3 or some shit like that. Like, and even Jamie Kennedy's whole thing at the end of like the 3 big things to not do in a horror movie. It all happens, and in the terms of being meta, and again, I'm sorry that I'm just blowing through all this.
Okay.
In terms of being meta, my favorite scene in this is when Nev Campbell Sydney goes, her and Tessa or whatever are on the phone together, and she's like, "Oh, the horror movies are stupid. It's just some big tit girl running around, running up the stairs when she knows that she can't." Mm-hmm. What does Sydney do? Not even 5 minutes later than that, runs away from Ghostface down the stairs, like to flip. And I truly believe it, because of Wes Craven, because he had all that time to do the shit with Freddy, to be able to write that like meta lore, and it continues on, and it's so good.
Well, I'll give you guys a quick little story about this movie that I think is really funny, and it relates to my actual life. Is that how they say that you shouldn't do certain things in horror movies and stuff like that. I actually have a story, a really funny story. I'll make it really short. That happened to me. It wasn't on Halloween, but my family loves playing pranks on each other. And I don't know if I mentioned this before.
Yeah, you've talked about it. You just haven't talked about any of the pranks yet. And I'm just kind of good.
Okay, in person or on the podcast?
You haven't told us anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
about pranks or anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious because I used to prank in high school.
So this is the prank my sister and them tried to play on me. All right, so we used to live in EC. All right, for those of you in the area, you'll know what that is. But we used to live in EC, and we lived in
East Chicago.
Yeah, there you go, East Chicago. So we lived in East Chicago, and let's just say we lived in a building, an upstairs apartment, and my sister and them, her friend, came to my room one day, and they're like, "Hey, can you look for my boyfriend? He hasn't shown up yet." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So instead of going outside and stuff like that, I went to the front of the apartment and looked out the front window.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking out the window. I got my whole half my body leaning out the window. I'm looking this way. I'm looking that way, left and right, looking for this guy. And then all of a sudden I noticed somebody walking across the street, right? And walking one direction, stopped, turned around, and walked the other direction. And then he did it again, and then started coming back this way. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It's nighttime. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you walking back and forth in front of my apartment, dude? So I finally start focusing on him, and it's a guy in a mask, and he had something in his hand. So I was like, what the fuck? And then so I looked at him, and then that's when I guess he noticed that I was looking. He saw and stops, looks up at me, and he's wearing a hockey mask. And then I noticed what was in his hand. It was something shiny, and I was like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden he started running towards my front door, right? I flew out the window, spun around, ran through the apartment, and I told everybody, run, he's gonna slash us. Instead of running out the back door like a dumbass, I run into the bathroom and closed the door. And I'm in the bathroom instead of running like you should
Everybody
have
get
done in a
out.
horror
Go to the
movie.
bathroom.
And there's no lock on that bathroom door.
Yeah.
I was so pumped with adrenaline that I was holding that bathroom door with my own hands like this. And my sister and them were supposed to start screaming like they were being killed, but they were laughing so damn hard they couldn't scream, they couldn't breathe. So, and my heart's like, I couldn't, I'm so scared to where you can't hear anything anymore. Have you ever been that scared before?
Yeah.
Where you lose your hearing? That was me. So my heart beating so
Or
fast,
it's just
I couldn't
like
hear.
so numbed, it's like it might as well not even be there yet.
Right, exactly.
That's
So,
happened to me a ton,
my
especially
mom
over
and them are banging on the door and trying to get me to open the door. They thought, and I wasn't saying anything because I couldn't hear nothing or whatever. They were banging the door, all this stuff, trying to get my attention. They're like, Jay, it's okay. It was a prank, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't hear nothing because my heart was still beating and everything like that. And they thought I locked the door and fainted or had a heart attack because I wasn't responding to them. And they're trying to open the door, right? Well, I'll say his name. Dominic was like really tall, like taller than me.
Yeah.
And a big dude. And him and my mom, neither one of them could pull the door open. And I was holding it down. That's one knee.
Adrenaline was so jacked up.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so jacked up. And they could not bust that door. They thought I locked it. No, I was holding that door. That's how, man, adrenaline was pumping and everything like that.
So it was just the boyfriend then.
Yeah.
And a mask.
Yeah, and it was the boyfriend in the mask, and he was in it, and so that was the story, and I just wanted to bring it up because that's one of the things that happened in this movie where they say things you're not supposed to do, and I just thought that was funny because that's something I did. Instead of running out the back door like I should have, I ran into the bathroom like a dumbass.
Speaking of pranks, I had a bunch of friends over. Like one of the few times I had a group of people over at my house around Halloween, and my stepmom was like, "Hey, we're gonna watch The Exorcist." I was like, "Oh hell yeah! I've watched this movie a bunch." So a bunch of my friends are over and we're watching it, and my stepmom goes, "Your dad's gonna run out for a bit." All right, cool. Mind you, lights are off. This is on one of those big, like, old school TVs with like the big back on it.
Yeah.
Big ass LCD TV. God, those things are heavy. And a bunch of, this is high school, man.
Yeah, that was like the precursor to the flat screens.
Yep. And we're watching The Exorcist, and it comes to the scene where she grabs the crucifix and starts to, like, diddle herself. And my stepmom walks in front of the TV with, like, a painting of Jesus or whatever. She was like, "Nope, not this scene." And I was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." So it gets to the scene, and I don't know, like, if my stepmom gave my dad, like, a signal. But all I remember is I was sitting on the couch, and it's the scene where she gets out of the bed and she does the backflip, the crab wall, backwards crab walk. Yeah, and she attached herself to the wall. My dad, I don't know how long my dad had been sitting in the backyard. Because I was not, like, I was engrossed watching The Exorcist. Yeah. Like, and she, as the moment she does the backflip and she, like, screams or whatever, my dad hits the window and yells. Now, you were talking about not being able to hear because, like, your own heartbeat. Mm-hmm. This is why I would have died in a horror movie. I had no idea what was going on because I was watching a movie. So, like, my dad was like, "Ah," and I was just like, "Oh, The Exorcist." And, like, all my friends are, like, running around the house and all this other shit. And my dad comes in and he's like, oh, that's good. That's funny. "Jay?" And I was like, "What?" "I'm watching The Exorcist." Like, so a little bit of lore about myself. I was actually going to talk about the entire Scream series by myself before we started this project. This Koffin Click project. I had another podcast that I was going to do called Dealing in Nostalgia. And I just want to read two quick excerpts of my script that I'd done. And this is about Scream.
Of course.
So, the first movie was based on an actual story of Danny Rowling, the Gainesville Ripper, who unalived 8 people between 1989 and 1990. More notably, the 4 students at the University of Florida, which is what inspired this movie. So, like, I talk about the entire movie in itself, but I wanted to read one of the excerpts from it, and if enough people like it, maybe I'll finish it. And who knows, maybe one day we'll have a Patreon, and I'll go into more depth about these movies. But, sorry. I just had my note. So when Sydney gets to school, she's abruptly interviewed by none other than Linda Blair herself from The Exorcist. Sid runs into Billy, and this conversation always makes me hate Billy. And I hated Billy throughout this entire movie. But your mom died a year ago. You need to get over it, and you haven't been the same since. Dickhead, get out of here. Everyone grieves differently. It's still taking me forever to get over my stepmom's death, and I had some of my friends tell me the same thing. They're not all in my life anymore, and more so, if you love her, don't rush it. Maybe that's just me. Billy's a dickhead.
Yeah, absolutely.
He scared me more outside of him being Ghostface than him being in the outfit. And I think that's what sells it so much for him. So, anything else about Scream?
And then the other one?
Oh, no, it was just...
you read both of them.
Yeah,
okay,
I read
okay,
both of them,
sorry.
yeah.
So actually, something else about Scream is the fact that there was 2 killers.
And you can tell the difference between I can't do it off the top of my head. It's but one of them is right-handed and the other one is left-handed.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between them. Like Stu will call him on the phone like he did all the phone stuff, and Billy was the stronger one, so he primarily did all the killing, but they were both in on it together.
Yeah.
Right. So the another fun fact about this movie is the Stu, the character when he gets stabbed, and Billy hits him. I think what is it? I think he hits him in the face or something like that.
He actually hits him with the gun or whatever.
Yeah, hits him with the gun, and that was an accident because they were so slippery with the blood and everything like that. It wasn't actually supposed to be happening, but they left it in the movie because it was such a good scene and everything like that. And yeah, so I just that's another fun fact about this movie is that when the bloopers happens, when they leave those in movies, you know, the funny but cool things that happen in movies that they end up keeping in that wasn't actually scripted.
Yeah.
Like when what's his name falls off the back of the couch in Harry Potter movie. You know, that wasn't supposed to happen. Ron Weasley falls off the back of the couch in one of the Harry Potter movies. That wasn't supposed to happen, but they left it in.
I'd feel terrible being a Lord of the Rings fan and not bringing up that Aragorn actually breaks his toe when he kicks the rock.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he screams.
Kicks
the way
the helmet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, kicks the helmet and he breaks his toe, and that's why he screams.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was that was another fun fact about this movie that I didn't want to leave out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what makes the film for me. Like what you were saying earlier with the like kind of meta-ish things or whatever. I mean, even throws McGowan right in the garage.
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, when she gets killed by the garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She was going on her whole rant about all the different things like that, just not like the same thing as Jamie Kennedy, right? Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. Not the same where it's like strict horror movie rules, but she's going on about the tropes and everything, and then gets lifted up in the damn garage door.
Like there was a whole, and like Jamie Kennedy's whole thing when they're on the couch watching, I think Halloween, and he's like, "Oh, obligatory breast shot," and it mirrors what happens at Halloween, and it flips to Sydney and Billy upstairs. Like just so well done.
I'm sorry, I gotta mention it. Because
yeah, you're right.
Thing.
Rose McGowan is Tatum.
Yeah.
So that's one of the most funniest things from the Scary Movie one, is that scene where they're in the bedroom, and then he orgasms and she shoots onto the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
That cracked me up so much when I seen that in the movie.
I think my favorite thing from like outside of the you're psychic, I have ESPN as well, is the second. I think it's the second one, because we've quoted a bunch, like the whole "take my good hand" thing. Give me my good hand.
Yeah. Go ahead. Anything else?
So yeah, I've always been like a secret member of the Rose McGowan fan club because Scream is not the only thing she's been badass in.
That's true.
And then I'm also a secret member of the Courtney Cox fan club because she is literally the only person from Friends with any sense to attempt to separate with this awesome movie. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, controversy here, I cannot stand Friends.
I think we've talked about that before.
It is literally just white people doing dumb white people things every episode.
And there were other shows around the time of that did it better, like Frasier.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else.
As much as I don't like
and
it. And
hate's a strong word, but I could never really like Friends.
As much as I have not watched it, but I know all the material from it because it's been quoted so many times at me, I kind of feel the same way about Seinfeld.
Yeah. That's a little more kitschy, though.
I'm kind of with you on that one, because I wasn't really never into Seinfeld that much. I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff in it.
Yeah,
there's one thing my wife constantly quotes about Seinfeld.
Yeah, like
the soup thing.
The soup Nazi,
yeah. Soup Nazi. No soup for you. John's getting upset.
think which sitcom you enjoyed in that era really depended on how much pop culture references you understood, as well as like generational gaps, because Frasier is really more for like people who are now in their 40s or 50s. Growing up, like that was their pop culture kind of references, versus Friends is more like late 90s, early 2000s, more of like the millennial.
Friends is a terrible show.
By the way, that was my wife.
Guest star.
No, that was super insightful.
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
is
thank you.
real good
Yeah,
job.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Gilmore.
Thank you.
So for those of you that might not have heard that, she said Gilmore Girls Forever.
Oh yeah,
For the win, yeah.
100%, yes.
She said Gilmore Girls for the
Where Dean played Sam.
Yes,
Wrong one.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
But
Supernatural too.
I'm with you on that one because I love the mom. She's super hot.
everybody's first.
yeah, a little bit. Why did you say that? It was so
Anyway.
obvious, but you said it anyway.
Anyway, Koffin Rating.
You said the unsaid thing.
Yeah.
I said the quiet part loud.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my wife, but
My
I like
wife.
her. She laughs whenever I watch Gilmore Girls, though. She
Yeah.
thinks it's
Because
funny.
like, okay,
Gilmore Girls is actually a good show, though.
Yeah,
Friends
okay.
is
it
not.
was.
so this.
Well, I like it because it's really, and I like, I like Kevin Smith movies, and it's really talkative type of show where they use is more about what you say and stuff like that than what you do and actions and everything. It's more, I guess you could say, heady type show because it's more
Yeah.
talk than everything else.
So I know this kind of takes away
Yeah,
from it being a
tangent,
horror
sorry.
podcast, but no, it's fine. Like taking away from a horror podcast, but like Gilmore Girls is the shit. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a show that legitimately has everything that even the sequel that they put onto Netflix was still tangible and good.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys want to hear us talk about the 90s and or sitcoms, let us know.
All
I
right.
think we're going to branch out to some new things in the
And
beginning of the year.
sorry, one more thing,
We're
because
gonna
I
get-
can't help myself.
Yeah.
Everyone I ever knew who was like obsessed with Friends, that's literally just like there's these like superficial like weirdo people that like I would prank in high school because of.
So the one thing I'll say about Friends is I used to watch it. I can't tell you like episodes or like the lore of Friends. I can't. But the biggest takeaway I had from Friends was Lisa Kudrow as Phoebe.
Oh, I
Like,
agree.
Yeah.
When I would watch it, I'd be like, "What's Phoebe?" I don't care about anybody else, maybe aside from Joey. But like, what's Phoebe doing? Because she was the one to be like, "Ha ha, I stabbed him," and then like would go talk about whatever else.
Yeah.
The one thing I took away from Friends is that I do it to our fur babies all the time.
Don't
is
move to
swing-
New York with 5 of your other friends.
No, no.
Yeah.
But
Don't
I
move
was,
to New York in general.
I was sing
Damn
Smelly
near.
Cat
Oh yeah.
to our cats. Every once in a while, I'll sing Smelly Cat to my cats.
Oh.
That's about the only thing I took away from Friends.
All right, let's get back to Scream.
Yeah, back to scary movies.
Let's close it out.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we found our niche.
Yeah.
Talking about the 90s. Anyway,
Maybe the 80s.
that you do decades here. But anyway, if it kill count. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So distracted. Again, we're seeing so distracted,
Words.
I forgot. So the kill count is 7 kills. 5 men and 2 women.
Also, because we branched off on something else.
Right.
Rose McGowan's garage door kill made me afraid of doggy doors for the longest time. Not gonna lie, because I was like, oh my god.
Doggy doors are the most stupid things ever created.
I was like, I'm skinny enough. I could fit in one. Am
Well,
I going to be stupid enough to go through the doggy door if a serial killer is
Because it's
coming
the
after
easiest way
me?
to
The
break into a
strangest
house.
thing, though, is I've seen a lot of things in life, as it were, as we know from prior us lore, blah, blah, blah. I've never, ever seen a doggy door through a garage, except for that damn movie.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they're extinct now because everybody who saw Scream thought it was a bad idea.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
right? They were literally philosophically outlawed by Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, this comes as no surprise for the coffin rating. This is my 5 coffins. This
You mean like the other 10 you've done already?
hush. Hush you. But anyway, Sharknado. But anyway, like no, Scream is 5 coffins for me. I cannot give it any less.
All right, I gave it 4 coffins.
4.25 coffins. It's good. But yeah, when I was younger, I always had this thing where I like could never like get myself all the way into it. I guess that just was the thing where I had to like grow up or something.
When I first.
Justin, I love you, man. You with your fractions of stars, I love it.
Well, I'm going to show you Dave Meltzer one of these days, and you'll understand it.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm just doing Meltzer on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Even though I don't necessarily like the man, I just thought it'd be funny to do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But as I said, like, being shown horror movies start, like, people suggesting things to me, like, oh, hey, check this out, check this out, check this out. When I saw Scream because I wanted to see Scream.
Right.
I had to wait for it to come out on VHS.
And you call me old. VHS.
Okay, you were there when they were invented. I was
surprised
there
you
when they
didn't
were.
say DVD.
I don't think I had Scream.
I recall hearing some of my first music on 8-track, so I mean.
Oh, 8-tracks. Don't give me
Because my dad still had one. That's the only reason.
Don't
I
get
know
me
my
started.
age doesn't fit.
I had a Led Zeppelin cassette collection.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, let's not get on another tangent.
Or my grandpa. I don't even remember who it was. It was either my dad or one of my grandparents. Yeah, somebody still had a damn 8-track, and some of my first music memories are 8-track.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw this movie because I wanted to, and it's something that I found. It just opened a gateway of a whole bunch of new stuff for me. So that does it for us, and a little bit of a peek into the future for the podcast. You might want to stay tuned for Halloween. Goodbye.